Hey everyone, in today's video we've got a Yamaha T2 FM tuner. I know you can't see it at all right now, so let's get a closer look. Yeah, pardon the noise, we've got the government spying on us or something. I don't know who's running that, but you'll probably hear it. You think you're recording me? Well, I'm recording you. And Sadie was out here, but she's, I guess it's a little hot for her. I don't know. Hey! Why don't you come on out? Everyone wants to see you. Anyways, the Yamaha T2. This is very, very high end. That's what the owner told me, and that's what I can feel just handling this thing. It's a really odd piece. It's high end in that weird time where digital is just starting to kind of get traction. Reminds me of the Pioneer SX3X100 series, if you're familiar with those. They've got the digital readout right here for the station, but they also have like a tuner string. So that's really interesting. Anyways, there's your controls right there. Unit's in pretty good condition, not the greatest, a few scratches here and there. The issue is, I guess one of the channels doesn't sound quite right, so we're gonna have to look at that. On the back here, all kinds of good stuff. And actually in the back, I'm noticing you can immediately see the quality difference here. Like, look at those RCA jacks. Those almost looked like they were turned on a lathe or something. Like, the back of that is just such heavy metal. Let's get this in Sadie's zone and get her on the bench. Hey, tripod goes here, girl. Well, now you're back outside, huh? What are you doing? You are so silly. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, this thing is not light. It's not heavy per se, but by tuner standards, very heavy. So I'm excited to get inside of here and see what's going on. Alright, so we've got the Marantz 2215B set to aux as our test rig. Spoiler alert, I've already turned it on, but I'll show the turning on anyways. You hit this button, and there it goes. And it's working, right? I was gonna show you the thing it was doing wrong, but I went to show you, and it's working properly now, and I've done nothing. So we'll have to let it cool down, I guess, and try again later, see if we can get it to do the failure mode. All right, it's a different day. We are now back to very much so exhibiting the problem. This is another video. We'll get to that another day. But if I turn the volume up, let's use the balance knob here. So this is the right channel. Does not sound right. And then if we go to the left channel, more info online at that's working okay. Nothing wrong with that one. So notably though, if we change the station, sorry, we got to put the muting on. We don't get that noise when we're in muting. So in terms of schematic, we need to see like where does the muting actually cut out the circuit, and we know that our problem is before that because muting makes this quiet. We don't have some amplifier just making a bunch of noise. Like, we are amplifying something else being created before the muting circuit. So then another thing, I don't know if I recorded it earlier, this thing needs an alignment, and I'll prove that to you. We're listening to 91.9 FM in this area right now. You can see we're set to 92, and if I switch this to 91, let's turn the muting back on. If we're on 91, the signal quality goes to that, but if I go to 92, it comes up high. So that's not right. This thing's in a lot of trouble. I think we need to pull the cover and see what's going on inside. And we'll probably have to turn this off so we don't warm it up too much and get the thing working right. We don't want that in this situation. I do not know how to take this apart, so I'm just gonna... Oh, interesting. Someone's been here before. Look at that screw. I did not do that. I found it like that. So someone has been here before. I don't even know how to get this apart, but clearly this must be one of the first things you need to take off. But the plot thickens. What do we have right here? There's two things here. One, we have a seal of some sort. This might be from the previous repair technician. I've never seen this on other things. Somebody's worked on this before, clearly from all these screws being rounded off. And then we have a hidden potentiometer right here. See that? I don't know what this does, so I might have to play with that and see if that changes anything. So let's go void the warranty right away here and continue on. Yeah, that one wasn't even tight. Okay, I've got the cover loose. Huh. All that for a tuner. Well, I've got to say, it looks very clean in here. And if the top cover can come off, this should be quite easy to work on. If I had to guess here, I would guess that whoever was here before replaced some capacitors. Because not all these capacitors look like they're from the same series. Like these light blue ones here, that's a fairly common one we see in electronics of this vintage. But over here, these two look a little different. And especially down here, these two are just bent. They're not straight. Normally things aren't that messed up from the factory. I haven't looked too much more closely yet. I want to see the foil side of this board, see if there's any evidence of soldering components. But I don't know how to get there. I need to read the manual. I need to look at the manual. Alright, it's a really good thing I started reading the manual. I was on the right track. You got to remove those 4 screws, but the next step is you got to remove the tuning knob. And normally on tuning knobs, you're going to look to see, you know, are there hex screws right here? I mentioned some hex screws, and there are none. But if you look through that little tiny hole, there are 2 2mm hex screws. So I'll have to whip out the 2.0 here and just look very closely in that little hole, and that'll allow us to get the tuning knob. And I can't even see, like I need to use my flashlight to go through there, line it up just right. It's like I was just pulling on it. I really was. So there's one, and there's the second. Is that it? And there you are. Wow, that is sneaky. That is very sneaky. Let's remove the rest of these screws here. I think I'll need to set this on its back for this next part. Then in the service manual, you remove a few more screws as denoted by a photo. They are marked 6 through 10. So we've got one right in here. I think this is screw number 6. This is screw number 7. I think screw number 8 is in here. Screw number 9. I think this is screw number 10. Okay, does this want to slide out now? Yes. It's amazing what happens when you read the manual. Sometimes it tells you how to do things. And see, look at that, even finished on the inside. That's how they make it happen. They've got these two, and then this is actually one solid piece. There's a bend in the aluminum. Or this is just part of the extrusion. It's like a big L shaped extrusion. Very, very nice. So what does this mean? It means now we can look at the foil side of this thing and see, where have people been? Are there any solder joints that look not original? Honestly, nothing really jumps out at me. It's kind of tough to see any obviously new solder joints. The ones for these 2 caps that I pointed out earlier, they're not straight coming out of the board, and they don't look like they were bent from the factory, so those might have actually indeed been replaced. I've been trying to get this thing to exhibit the failure mode again for a few days now. I turned it on once a day and it's just not doing it, and I have the signal generator going in, and I've got the oscilloscope ready to find stuff, and it's just not messing up. So I think I'll just have to put this back on the shelf, come back to it in a week or however many weeks, I don't know. Alright folks, I've had this thing in my possession since May of this year. I did not look at it until August of this year, and now it is October, and I still cannot get it to exhibit the failure mode with speakers and scope connected so I can actually sniff it out. So I guess this is our last chance here because I need to turn this thing on and see if anything's going to work at all. It would certainly help if I plugged it in. All right. Is it working?
Lane Flower and John Prime with Picture Show.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank our underwriters.
Again, it is working just fine. But since then, I've actually done some sniffing around here with this guy here. This is our capacitor ESR tester. And I found 3 bad ones. The worst one being this guy right here. This is supposed to be a 220 microfarad 16 volt capacitor, and we see we have only 118 microfarads and 8 ohms of ESR, which is actually quite high for a capacitor like this. The theme continues with the 220 microfarad capacitors. There were 2 of these guys. One I noticed, let's see if we can zoom in on this. See, check that out right there. Got corrosion on those leads. So that was kind of a giveaway, given the fact that this tuner is pretty well enclosed. I tested this guy out, and what did we get? We got 181 when it's supposed to be 220, so like way better than that purple one there. But yeah, these both exhibited a similar situation. So I don't know, hopefully that was something, and maybe this failure mode will never come back again. But we're at the point now where I can't just keep waiting for it to start failing. I need to do the FM alignment. So I printed out that section of the service manual, and to be completely honest with you, not all of it makes sense to me. So it's going to be difficult for me to record a compelling video about doing an FM alignment on this thing. But we've got the right tools for the job here. The signal generator, SG165, and a scope so we can see what the heck is going on. So I turn the speakers on here, we can see we've got music coming through the scope, but we're gonna want to see the signal generator coming up here. So if we go over to 98 on the meter, there we go. We're tuning into our signal generator here. So good news everyone, the FM alignment is done, and you can see we are tuned to a station. I'd tell you more about how I accomplished that alignment, but I kind of just flew by the seat of my pants and used my intuition on this alignment. But I will say, if you've done an FM alignment before, or if you've watched me do FM alignments in the past, there's nothing in here saying to do any of this, but I'm just telling you what I did. Right here, this is your tuner cap, and you've got your variable capacitors and your inductor cores. Basically what other FM alignments tell you to do is like go to a low frequency on the band, start messing with your cores, right? So I just went to, you know, core 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at that frequency, and then just kind of turned them until I got a really nice display of the wave on my scope. The biggest thing really on here is TC0. This kind of shifts your entire band, right? And I needed to adjust this a little bit when I was at 98 to get that working. Like, I'm wondering whether I should even release this video at all right now, because I'm listening to myself talk, and like the truth of the matter is, you know, I'm not an experienced FM alignment person. Like, I really just did the best I could with what I know. But at the end of the day, so say like, let's go to 91.9 here. And sorry for those of you who have trouble reading upside down. What would happen before, if you remember, we would have trouble kind of getting this one and this one to kind of link up together. Like, the middle of the meter was not necessarily the highest strength, and if you wanted 91.9, you'd have to make it say 92. But now, let's kind of come in here and we'll see. There, we've got it at 91.8. There's 91.9. Our meter is centered. And then at 92, we're off center. We lose stereo. So, obviously I've done something correctly here. And I am happy with that. Let's call it a successful FM alignment. And the only thing left to do here is install brand new lamps. And it's kind of cool how they did the lamps on this thing. They have them all tying in right here to the circuit board. If you look closely in there, they all go right in there. and they're all on long wires. There's 4 of them. So what I'm gonna do is replace them, and a lot of them are pretty easy, like this little guy right here. Just kind of pops out of there. You slide this this little thing off to give it the color. And then there's 3 more. Like I showed you, right in here, we're gonna want to undo this zip tie. And we'll need to find that piece somewhere. Here's our first one, just kind of sneaks through there. Let's go ahead and rip these out. Or unwind them. There's one. And there's 2. So here's our old and our new, very similar. We'll take this length of the old wire and kind of line it up like so. And then we'll go ahead and cut the new guys, and we will strip them to the correct length. We'll take this little thing, we'll put this back on the lamp, slide it in there, just sneak that on through. I believe the red wire was furthest to the back. I'm just going to take a small screwdriver and I'm going to try to wrap this conductor around that post. Not that one, this one. I don't want that coming undone, so I'm just going to solder it into place right now. Should be plenty. And then I can work on the white wire. Yeah, let's take a quick look and see if that worked. Yes, it did. So there's our new lamp right there. Now we've got 3 more to go. The next one's right in here where our tuner meters are, and it's the same situation. We just kind of yank this back, pull off this shield, and there's the lamp. And I see that it is these back 2 wires, so I'll go ahead and undo this and its counterpart, this white one here. There's that. Looks like we've got a good bit of snaking to do. Is our new one even long enough? Yes, it is long enough. We'll be all right. Let's see, should I go lamp first or leads first? I think I'll go lamp. Looks like an easy enough path to go down. There's that. Get our little guy on there. Slide it on in right there. And then let's get these leads soldered, just like the other ones. And we have these 2. Where do these go? Well, those go right here. These are for lighting up this little tuner pointer. See that cute little wedge thing in this reflective material? Kind of neat. So I'm gonna not knock that over. That one comes out, and this one comes out. Then what happens after that? Okay, so these will have to maintain this little rubber band here. And we're going to slide this plastic piece all the way down the leads. I've got this flipped around. I'll go ahead and pull these out while I've got it over here. Yeah, I think I'll need to enlarge the holes on this thing or something. I'm not able to get these heat shrunk solder joints over. I don't need the insulation since I have those solder joints, so I think I'll just kind of come in with these guys and open it wide. Yep, So I've just opened that up. I just kind of went in here with my pliers, stuck them in each hole, did a chop, and now if you look in there, there's much more space. Yep, so that was already a lot easier. Let's see what happens now. Yeah, I think that's what we need. Yep, there it is. We're through, right there. So we'll take that red band, slide that over top again, and then we can figure out how the heck this went in here, because I don't remember. Probably go something like this. Well, let's put our wires in first. Had a little bit of extra length in the wires, so I shortened them, and then I will strip them. And we'll solder these with the other one once that one's installed. So we'll just cut these so we can slide this off easily. We will destroy it slightly. Just kind of cut open a little bit, stick our things in there. Remove a small amount of material, put each wire in this way. And very carefully seat the lamp in there and not do what I just did, which was kind of bend it slightly on accident. Okay, that looks good. Let's throw that back in here. Put the wires through first. Slide this in. And of course we've got plenty of excess wire, so cut that short. Strip each one. And we'll work on attaching some wires to these posts here. I think I'll take the reds and twist them together and wrap them around the post as one. And then we'll do the same for the white wires. Of course, we've got all this wire now, so let's get a new zip tie and make it all how it was before. Not too shabby. I think it's about time this thing gets put back together. Let's see if I can remember how the heck that was supposed to happen. So I could barely remember how I put this together, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coarse thread going into this case. Then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 fine thread. You want to make sure these all thread and then tighten them. And then go ahead and tighten your coarse thread screws inside here. Then when you put this on, you want to make sure you get your ground thingy lined up and sandwiched in there properly. And everything on this uses a screw with a washer. And we gotta get this guy back on. This was a 2mm hex, and it is so hard to see in there. Yep, alright, got it. Not too tight, just tight enough to where you can't pull it off. Wowee, that was the longest tuner repair ever. Let's turn this thing on. Check out our nice new lamps. Oh yeah, that's looking way better than it did before, gotta say. I don't think you can see that. Let's make it so you can. Yeah, check that out. That is much better looking than it was before. I like it. Let's turn our amp back on so we can listen. Let's turn the muting back off. And there we go. 94.7 is a good station here. Now we got stereo. 93.9 or 7. Got stereo. We're better than we were. We are absolutely much better than we were. I know you all want me to take it to the power washer, but that's simply not going to happen. Sorry. So what did we accomplish with this T2? Well, we got a pretty good alignment on it. Not perfect, but better than it was before. We've got brand new lamps, and we've got 3 bad capacitors removed from this thing. And it's a good thing they're not in there anymore because they tested very bad. I'm still very frustrated that I could not get the failure mode to happen when I had test equipment out and I could actually look for it. But I guess as long as it never comes back, I am happy with that. This is going to go to a local guy, and I'm sure I'll hear about it if it comes back. So with that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my subscribers, and thank you to my members who get early access to videos like this one. I've got some cool stuff coming up on the channel. I have one thing that has depreciated 93% since the year 2005. I have another eBay disaster, and something I got at Goodwill for 13 bucks that I think you'll find pretty interesting. So if that sounds interesting to you, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.